But he did beat Bisu. He did beat Bisu once. So, is he playing in TVP? No, he's playing in TVP. Oh, I was gonna say, it'd be hilarious if he played against Bisu again. He's playing against a Zerg. It could be... Su? Could be Su. Could be Saxry. That was not Saxry. It is gonna be Su, okay. Alright, Cop versus Su. He's 4-5 overall. Not the greatest, but that's alright. He's an SKT Zerg, so it's probably better than expected anyway. And nice. TVZ to start off. One of the better StarCraft 2 matchups for sure. A lot of people say it's the best one actually. Although I guess that was probably before the recent or not so recent queen change.
자, 개인적인 측면에서도 어윤 선수가 분명히 좀 힘을 낼 필요가 있을 것 같습니다. 자, 양 선수의 경기는 안티가 조 선수입니다. 네, 안티가 조 선수에서 테란 대 저그.
Alright. Map is Antigua Shipyard. 6-5 TVZ. Nice and balanced. Yum 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 yum.
지형집을 이용할 것이 많기 때문에 침착한 테란의 자리 잡기 그리고 자리를 잡지 못하게 만들게 해야 하는 뭐 저그의 이런 싸움이 있겠습니다. 그렇습니다. 자, 지동원 선수, 어윤 선수.
Did Cop, does anyone know if Cop played any games last season of Pro League? I really don't think he did, but maybe he played like one game that I forgot. Just trying to think. I really don't think he did. Played only a couple of games this season. Going into the game. Alright, spawning as the red Terran on the left side, we have Cop. Playing for Samsung Kong. And on the right side, as the blue Zerg, we have Endai Su, playing for SKT. That's right, he is Endai. He is from the same clan as Jaedong. I mean, it's gotta mean something, right? And also one of the coolest clan tags. Seriously, seriously. The Korean clans have such cool clan tags. I mean, like think about like the the foreigner clan tags, you know. I mean, like Liquid with the little dot thingy. I don't even know what it's called. What is that called? Oh shit! What just happened? Like Liquid has a cool tag, but some people have really bad tags, like QXG for Quantic. Like that's kind of dumb. It's kind of lame. But Endai with an underscore. That is a hot clan tag, man. It's not a tilde. It's like a little reverse apostrophe. Tilde is like a squiggly line. Now that I think about it, what the heck is that thing called that Liquid has as their delimiter? What is that? It's like it's actually like a backwards apostrophe. A grave? It's not a grave. It's... what is it? Oh, what is it now? I don't know what it is anymore. Oh well. Expect this link to thread. Backtick? I don't know. Oh shit, what did I just do? Shit, I just clicked something and it broke things. Shit. Wait, hold on, 1 second. Wait, what have I just done? I just opened another window somewhere. Wait. I have no idea where this window went. Hold on. This might break things. Don't break things, please. Okay, thank you. Okay. Sorry. I just almost exploded the stream. In the meantime, we have a wall. The beginnings of a Warren Rex expand. Versus a... was that hatchery first? Yeah, so hatchery first. Presumably a 15 hatch from Su. Is it actually a grave accent? Okay. Okay. Never mind then. Alright, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Whatever. I'll just call it the liquid tag thingy. I think that's more descriptive. Like, I think more people will know what I'm talking about when I just say it's the Team Liquid thing, than if I say it's a grave accent. Accent grave.
지동원 선수는 좀 해줬습니다.
AKA backtick.
병영 더블 한 이후에 배럭스를 병영을 3개 늘리냐 아니면 가스를
And there's the wall in, there's the double gas.
실제로 가면서 화염차로 찌르느냐 아니면
And there's the SCV checking things out.
그리고 해병으로 찌르는.
It's a pretty standard opening here so far
러시아들도 최근
for both players.
있습니다. 변화를 되게 많이 주고 있어요 모든 선수들이요.
자, 그 시야 안쪽에 어윤 선수가 확인을 하고 있습니다.
네, 첫 번째 가스 지어지는
Alright.
상대방의 가스를 클릭하게 되면 채취량이 나오죠.
그렇죠.
네, 그래서
네.
분명히 상대방의 군수 공격 타이밍을 바로 이 정보를 알 수가 있고요.
I don't know why they're so fascinated by this gas. Alright, he's mined some gas, guys. Check it out. Check it out. He's mined gas. Oh my god. No gas yet for the Zerg. And looks like we're gonna have a reactored Hellion opening from Cop. As we often see. And scouting a CD guy's gonna get chased back here. So solo gas taken by the Zerg, he's just gonna go mass queens as his opener, as is so popular nowadays. Doing the 6 queen build and droning up like crazy. Although recently, I highly recommend, especially for Terrans who are having trouble against like the 6 queen opening, I highly recommend going and watching Major versus Hyun in the TSL4, that best of 5 series. It's actually a very good series overall. I recommend everyone watch it, but especially if you want to see cool things to do against the queens. Should check it out. In the meantime, Overlord guy is going to poke around here, but going to stay away for now, since the Marine is there. Probably wait until later and maybe do a little suicide run into the main. He doesn't have to, but might be a good idea just to see what the Terran's doing. And in the meantime, we do now have the gases taken for the Zerg. Meanwhile, on the other side, first Hellions are coming out. And the starport, I think it's just completed as well. Look, the first 2 Hellions going to take down that Ling at the middle, at the watchtower. Oh, they're going to take him down. And SCV now going to run over to take a third. Looks like one Zergling though does see it going over. So Su hopefully has seen that and sees that the Terran is going for that fast third. Presumably that's to make third base. Meanwhile, he's doing a little double evolution chamber wall in at his natural, just to make it more difficult for those Hellions to run by into the main. Nice little SimCity there. And we actually have a Banshee. Banshee's following up as well, so going to be this Hellion Banshee style mid-game pressure coming from the Terran. A very nice way to balance your resources, as of course those Banshees are very gas heavy, and then you just dump all your minerals on the Hellions. And allows him to get a fast third as well, while pressuring the Zerg. But oh, he's got to be careful. Looks like he's just decided to run his Hellions in here, but he's going to get a little bit trapped here. How many drones can he kill here at the natural? Link's coming in from the side, the Queen's doing maximum damage, moving into position to block off the Hellions' escape, but that does allow the Hellions to kind of move in, get a few shots off on the drones. He does roast a couple of these drones here, and actually might get another big shot off on the drones. Can he get another big shot off? Looks like not quite. Manages to get 4 drones here, which for 4 Hellions is actually not that bad a trade. But the thing is, now that makes it a little bit weaker, or makes this makes this Banshee a little bit less of a threat, because if he had kept those Hellions alive, of course, he'd be able to kind of pull the Queens in all directions. So if the Banshee in the main and then the Hellions poking at the front, you know, it's hard for Su to decide where he wants to put his Queens to help defend against everything. But now that the Hellions are gone, when the Banshee comes in, Su can be like, oh, okay, well, I'll just defend the defend the Banshee then, and not worry about it too much. Meanwhile, both players actually taking their third, finishing at almost exactly the same time, in fact. And actually, we see some factories being added on, so it looks like Cop is going for some mech play here. Very interesting stuff. An Overlord did make its way into the main, but it died, I think, before the factories got placed. So I don't think that Su is aware of this this mass factory transition. The tech lab was in fact built on the barracks first, so I think he might just think it might just be a a standard bio follow-up, but in fact it is not. And the Hellions meanwhile poking around the front, trying to deny the creep a little bit, managing to pick off just 1 creep tumor. Meanwhile, looks like Spores up in all the mineral lines, going to keep those safe from the Banshees. But I think only 1 Banshee came out anyway, and we actually have a Raven instead as a follow-up. But he has rallied the starport to the front, though. He's got to be careful. Actually, no, that might be intentional. I think he might use the Raven and the Hellions to go clear some creep tumors. But yeah, for a second I thought he might have forgotten to re-rally the starport, and then might have just like lost a Raven in a silly fashion, which would be quite sad. But now he's going to move out with a good number of Hellions, that one Banshee and the Raven, and be able to pick off this creep. And I really like this move. You know, a lot of Terran players don't get that early Raven, and then they just, you know, have a really hard time dealing with the mass creep spread that results from the mass Queen opening. So I think going for this fast Banshees, or sorry, for the fast Ravens is a really good idea, especially because, you know, you already have map control with these Hellions, so, you know, you might as well just get this Raven, especially after the Banshee opening as well. Get the starport with the tech lab, and see, look at this, he just kills all the active creep tumors, and he doesn't need to, you know, he doesn't need to press the issue. You can just pull back here, let the creep proceed, wait for the queens to, you know, poop out a bunch of new creep tumors, and then go in and kill those as well. Meanwhile, he does have more Hellions on the way. He has a Thor as well. He's getting both vehicle upgrades, getting Blue Flame. But it looks like Su's already up to 80 drones, so might start that unit pump pretty soon here. He's getting... what is he getting? The Queens. Wait, where'd the Banshee go? Did he lose the Banshee? Oh my, I wasn't paying attention. Did he actually lose the Banshee? I don't know, but it looks like a Link counterattack actually in Kop's third. The Observer's not showing it, but I believe there's a Zerglings taking down the third. Yes, there are a couple of Hellions coming in to help defend, but this is actually going to be really, really annoying. Where are the rest of the Hellions actually? It looks like he didn't have much at home, but it looks like the Banshee actually does come out here to help take down these Lings, but he loses a number of SCVs. Gets denied a little bit, and oh, it looks like his wall is actually not a wall here, so Link's gonna run in here. They're actually gonna see the Blue Flame, they're gonna see the Thor, so now Su definitely knows what's going on here. He realizes it is mech. He has already gone for mutas, getting some mutas out, getting a few roaches as well to help deal with this mech army. But you know, 3 base is already up for the Terran, so it's 3 base Terran versus 3 base Zerg. Su needs to start thinking about taking a 4th fairly soon here, especially given that, you know, mech in this mid game situation is gonna be pretty defensive here. He's not going to move out until he has a decent core of those tanks and Thors and whatnot. So the Zerg has a bit of time here to expand and really get his tech and his infrastructure going. Looks like we have turrets going up around the main base here. Not just putting them in the mineral line, but kind of putting a small ring around his main base. That's interesting. That means, you know, if the mutas do go in and just try to focus down the turret, the SCVs have to go a little ways to go repair them. And yeah, see, they can just fly past the turrets and go straight to the mineral line here. So I'm not really sure if I like that turret placement from Kop here. He's not really doing anything to defend the mineral line, but it looks like the mutas are just going to fly away here. I feel like they could have just killed that turret on the edge, but oh well. Just going to leave. Meanwhile, looks like Su is taking a 4th base there on the right side at the 3 o'clock. You know, having gone for mutas and seeing that the Terran is going for mech, it'd probably be a good idea to, you know, maybe take the corner expos as well. Just, you know, kind of expand to faraway locations, because mech is fairly immobile. I mean, you have the Hellion component, which can be quite scary if you have faraway bases and a bunch of Hellions show up to roast all your drones. You know, if you build a few spine crawlers here and there, and you know, you have good reaction time. It might be a good idea to take faraway bases. I don't know. Anyway, Hellions poke around here and there. Looks like he's just going to try and look for a base over there. And looks like Hellions fast enough to avoid the mutas, so I think he will scout it. Oh, no, he gets intercepted by Lynx, or actually by drones at the last second. But obviously the fact that there were drones there to intercept him means that there is a hatchery going up there, if not completed already. Looks like a couple sensor towers have been thrown down by the Terran, one of this third one in his main, just to spot any incoming drops or anything of that sort. Very, very nicely placed sensor towers there. Of course, one of the big dangers when you are going mech is a lot of drops and counterattacks and whatnot going to your main and stuff because of how immobile you are. So definitely want to spot those in advance. Meanwhile, the Hellions continue to run around here. But otherwise, both players just being fairly passive. Of course, it's kind of on the meching player to kind of max out and then decide to move out. It's a little bit difficult for the Zerg to do too much here. As you can see, you know, between those sensor towers and well-positioned Thors and turrets and whatnot, it's kind of hard for Su to attack into this. He just needs to wait for the Terran to move out and try and take a 4th or just go for a huge attack. Meanwhile, Su is now going to go take the top left main as his 5th base here. He's elected not to take the center base yet, because he knows that one's a little bit more vulnerable to the mech style. And looks like some Blue Flame Hellions though are going into the 4th. He tries to split the drones, doesn't quite split them that well. The spine crawlers weren't exactly finished yet, so it looks like he probably is going to lose all of these drones, but roaches are coming in to help clean up these Hellions. So he does lose a decent amount of drones, but it looks like he's instantly replenished those, and is now getting, his hive is actually over halfway done. He's getting burrow as well. And, well, he's got, looks like a primarily Roach Force with a few mutas mixed in. I mean, you know, I said he has to be passive now, but might want to try, you know, doing some drops and so on. Looks like he's actually going for an attack on the front here, but that is not a good idea. There's Thors and Siege Tanks supporting all these Hellions. So many Banshees overhead taking out everything. Oh my god, Su! Just throwing away a large number of roaches there. I was going to say, he might want to try doing drops into the main base to just free up some supply to switch into Broodlords or Ultralisks or whatever hive tech he's going for. But going for an attack at the front is just... It's just not cost efficient at all. I mean, yeah, you're freeing up supply, but at least if you're going to free up supply, you want to kill some stuff in return. You don't want to just give away your units for free. And you see this now, Kappa's taken this opportunity to go and attack. He realizes, okay, you know, he just suicided a bunch of roaches. Even if he is replenishing supply in some other hive-tech unit, he's not going to have that for a while. So now I have this opportunity to push forward. And now we see how it was a good idea for Su now to actually take that center expansion, because that would have died immediately here. But as it stands, he does have a little bit more time now to remake his army. Looks like he's just making a bunch of Banelings. That's going to be kind of effective against the Hellions, but not against the rest of the mech. And if the Hellions are controlled properly, those Banelings I don't think will ever connect. So I don't know how much I like this this decision to make all those Banelings by Su. But the mech army is pushing forward. He's moving on to creep. Looks like actually, does he still have a Raven there? I think he's got a Raven there. I didn't see a scan. Or was he scanning? No, he does have a Raven there. So the Raven is helping him to clear out these creep tumors. And is he going to push towards Su's main, or is he going to go for that fourth base at the bottom right there? It looks like he's going to go towards the fourth base. Not going to try and push all the way cross map. That is a little bit difficult, a little bit risky to do with a mech army. It looks like Roach is going to come in the back and pick off a few siege tanks for free here. Looks like, oh my god, Kopp is not siege up. Kopp sieges up at the last second, but it's a little bit late. And this time the attack might do a lot better. Oh my god, the siege tanks getting demolished here. The Thors trying to do what they can. The Banshees doing as much damage as they can, but there's a few Corruptors overhead, and this time Kopp's army gets completely cleaned up. He's got 4 Banshees left, but there are Corruptors in the air to take those down. Kopp was caught with his pants down. He was not sieged up. He was not in a good position. And Su, with a great attack there, has now reduced the Terran down to 100 supply, whereas he has stayed basically maxed this entire time with that very fast Roach resupply. But it looks like good planetary fortress positioning here is going to allow him. Wow, he has no TVs left. I was going to say, you know, Kopp is going to survive now for just a little bit, but wow. I guess he transferred all the SUVs from his natural. Well, he still has minerals there. Why did he send all of them? That's a little bit silly. But this planetary fortress looks like it's going to go down here. The Roach is coming in. There's a lot of SUVs repairing, but there's no way they can repair fast enough to stop that many Roaches. And, well, now the Broodlords are morphing at the front. And Kopp is in a lot of trouble here. He's lost that expensive mech army. Like, if you lose that big mech army, there's no way you can rebuild it. It's just like, it's next to impossible to replenish all those tanks and Thors and Hellions and whatnot. I mean, just look at this. He's still down at, like, just over 100 supply, whereas the Zerg is max. He's now moving in with his Broodlords. I think Kopp is basically dead right now. He's just going to hang on as long as he can, but there's no chance for him anymore. And here come the Broodlords, just 3 of them for now. But there's only 1 Viking at the anti-air and a couple of Thors in the back. Are there? No, there's no Thors anymore. There's actually 0 Thors. Alright, there's only siege tanks. Well, that's not very good, is it? He's got 1 hero Viking. It's alright, he's gonna go hire Tom Kazansky to drive that Viking. And nope, gets taken down by the Corruptors, which are also gonna pick off all of the Banshees, and the siege tanks are just killing themselves as the Broodlings drop on top of them. And looks like the Roach is just going to come in here to finish the job. So Kopp will GG out shortly. And there it is, GG! Su takes game number 1 for SKT here. Setting us up for a second ace match for today. That would be quite exciting. I do love me my ace matches. And man, I'm actually quite surprised that happened. After Su suicided